Hey, welcome to Paddle and Hype. Today's a different video. We're gonna bake some keto recipe. These two recipes, I make them to go backpacking, hiking, on road trips. They're super easy to bring for lunch, snacks, whatever you want. I'm not a cook. I'm not super pro. I don't have all the gears. I'm using pretty much all my Tupperwares to make this video. Today we're gonna make sugar cinnamon donuts and cookies. So we're going to start with the donuts. So we're going to start with a bowl for the dry, because after that we're going to put the wet. So to start the donuts, you'll need to preheat your stove at 350 degrees. And then you'll need a quarter cup of almond flour, a third of a cup of sweetener. I use erythritol. I can't say that word. This is like Worcestershire sauce. I swear to God, just trying to say this word makes you lose the calories and the carbs of the amount. That's why it's 0. Do not use Splenda. The taste's not going to be the same. So use erythritol and like Swerve. That's the one I use. Then you're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. That's for the dry. Then you're going to stir. So we start with 2 eggs, and then we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of unsweet almond milk. And we're going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla. And once again, you're going to stir everything together. I was looking for my whisk and I couldn't find it. So, like I say, it's not complicated. You can actually make this recipe with the kids. I did with mine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take back the dry and we're going to pour the wet into the dry. And then you're going to mix everything well together. Sometimes it makes chunks because of the coconut oil, but you can just heat it up just a bit before in the microwave. It will help, but you don't have to. They will melt when they're going to cook, so it's not a big deal because you're going to put them in the oven anyway. And that's pretty much done. So you see it's very liquidy. So you will need a mold like this to make these donuts. If you don't have one, it's not going to work because they are oven donuts. So I use 6. This one will make 6. So you're going to pour the batter in each of them. So looks like this. Then you're going to put it in the oven. So while this is cooking for 15 minutes, which is not long, super cool. They'll need to cool down a bit on the rack after, but still. We're going to mix the coating, the topping. So it's super simple. The only thing you have to mix is just 4 tablespoons of sweetener and 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon. So you mix it together. Super simple, and that will be your topping that you're gonna dip your donut in, and you'll have leftover obviously, and you'll be able to use it for the cookies. So it's pretty cool. So now we're just gonna wait for them to be ready. Then we're gonna put them on the rack, and then we're gonna dip them into the sugar cinnamon, and they're gonna be done. They will last in the fridge for a long time, I would say a week, and they won't go hard. They will always stay soft. Here they are. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove them from this and put them on the cooling rack. Just use a knife, be careful, and just put them on. You see? They're really nice on one side and a bit flat on the other. So there might be a way probably to flip them or whatever. I'm not doing it. I don't really care. It still works super well and they're super good. Doesn't affect the taste at all. They're probably more round if you cook them in oil, like, you know, the basic traditional way. But they look super nice. And when they're going to be coated, oh my goodness. Look at this. So we're gonna wait for them to cool down a bit, and then we're gonna transfer them into this mix. So we're back and we're ready to dip them. What I usually do is I take just this little bit of a cooking spray and I just spray them a bit. Not much, just so they are coated on both sides. It will stick more to them. And then you just dip them in the yummy mix. And look at this. On keto, you don't eat those things, and this made me be able to keep on going. You see, I have so much left of the mix that I'll be able to use it for the cookies. Look at this. Ain't that beautiful? So this recipe makes 6 donuts, and each has 170 calories, 15 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 2 grams of net carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 6 grams of proteins. Make sure to smash that like button. So for the cookies, which are even easier than the donuts, you'll preheat your stove at 300 degrees, and you're gonna start with 1 egg, so you need only 1 bowl. To this egg, you're gonna add half a cup of melted butter and a cap of vanilla. You're gonna stir this together. So to this mix, you're gonna add 2 cups of almond flour. You're gonna add 1/3 of a cup of sweetener and half a teaspoon of baking soda, not powder. And you're gonna stir everything together until it makes a dough. But it makes a sticky dough, okay? It's really a sticky dough. Now we're gonna use that mix and we're gonna put it on the cooking pan and we're gonna put it into the oven. Let's go. What you should have is parchment paper. That would be here. I forgot to buy some. So this is not the best. So I've put aluminum foil and I've put a bit of oil on it just to grease it out, but it works way better with parchment paper. So please use that. And this is the famous spoon. So much fun to use. So made 18 here. So what you're gonna do now is just flap them with a spoon just a bit. Simply like that. It looks pretty good. So now we're gonna put it in the oven. And it's done. And look at these cookies. Aren't they beautiful? And now we're gonna put them on the cooling rack, and then we're gonna coat them. So once again, I'm gonna use some cooking spray, coat them a bit, and we're gonna dip them in the mix. So for these cookies, mix 18. Each has 113 calories, 11 grams of fat, 2.5 grams of carbs, 1.5 grams of net carbs, 1 gram of fiber, and 2.5 grams of protein. So these 2 snacks dessert will stay good for a long time. You leave them in the fridge, not an issue. Well, they won't dry out. They will be chewy all the way for at least a week. Not an issue. You can bring them in a baggie into your hikes. They won't melt. Bring them in your car, road trips, camping, hiking, whatever you want. They're low carbs, keto friendly, and super, super good. So let me know how it went, if you like them. If you have comments, let me know. It's my first cooking video, so be nice. I did my best. So I hope you enjoyed that video. See you soon.